Hair goes in. It was so good to see you guys this morning. Those of you who were at our Zoom meeting. If you were not there, we missed you tons, and hopefully we'll see you at the next one. In our meeting today, we voted for a chapter book instead of picture books. So, Mrs. Karagosian has one called Code 7, and it says, Cracking the Code for an Epic Life. Well, that sounds pretty good, huh? And it's a Mom's Choice Award for honoring excellence, which is what made Mrs. Karagosian decide that she would want to read it. It's by Bryan R. Johnson. And there isn't an illustrator because it's a chapter book. We don't have pictures. So it says there's 7 children and 7 stories in this. We'll see. Ms. Karagosian has not read this yet. It looks like, when I look at the table of contents that tells me what's going to be in the story, it looks like there's a chapter called A World of Possibilities, Smash Mouth Taffy, Handle with Care, The Monster, Break a Leg, Oh Rats, and Code 7. So 7 chapters in our book called Code 7. And it says, Dear reader, you are invited to crack a code, one that will put you on the path to lead an epic life. Ms. Karagosian wants to read an epic life. Read this book closely. The code is composed of 7 important words. And if you learn to live by them, you will be prepared to become what you desire. This book reveals the secrets of the code. These are the stories of the first 7 members who cracked it. They call themselves Code 7. More members have joined since then. I'm one of them. By the end, I hope you'll consider yourself to be a member too. Now get cracking. Bryan Johnson. So that was a note from the author, from Bryan Johnson. Mrs. Karagosian is hoping that we can be part of Code 7 by the time we're done. Are you ready? Chapter 1, A World of Possibilities. In the school auditorium, Jefferson sat with his 5th grade class as the students of Flint Hill Elementary filled in. It was near the end of the day, and he was ready to get out of school. He didn't think much of assemblies, lectures on bullying, school safety, boring. While he waited, he took a tiny notepad and pencil from his pocket and started to draw. Drawing was something Jefferson loved to do, second only to painting. Jefferson's best friend, Darren, was sitting beside him. What are you drawing this time? The usual, Jefferson said. What I see. Jefferson sketched a picture of the scene before him. He drew in Principal Cooler, who was standing on a stage with a large chalkboard behind her. He worked on her poofy hair and black-rimmed glasses. Principal Cooler cleared her throat. Students and staff, she began. This year marks an important year for Flint Hill Elementary. Our school is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So the school had been working around for 50 years, and it was their anniversary. Principal Cooler politely clapped, and the audience followed suit. But the school building is beginning to show its age. It's time we address that. 100 whispers filled the room. Jefferson paused from his drawing, wondering what Mrs. Cooler had meant. They're going to tear this place down? Darren smacked a fist into his palm. Bam! In your dreams, Jefferson knew that wouldn't happen. Flint Hill was proud, and the small town was even prouder. Some famous scientist who invented plastic or something like that went here. They'd never tear down the school. Principal Cooler grabbed chalk from the tray. Today, I'd like to hear suggestions about how we can make our school look better than ever for our big anniversary celebration. Now, who has an idea? Dozens of hands shot into the air. Principal Cooler called on a second grade boy. Let's build a roller coaster that starts in the cafeteria and ends at the bus stop, he said. That would be fun, huh? I like that. Roller coaster. Principal Cooler wrote the words on the chalkboard. That might be a bit much, but thank you for your suggestion. She turned to face the audience. Now, what else would make this school a real standout? Jefferson thought about Flint Hill, sitting atop a grassy sitting atop its grassy, manicured slope. The lawn always looked amazing because Mr. Summers, the groundskeeper, had a knack for cutting perfect patterns with the riding mower in the grass. Maybe George and Jessica need a riding mower at our school, huh? That'd be kind of fun. But the building itself was a miserable 2-story rectangular shoebox in comparison. It had been painted in white over and over again to make it look new when it really clearly wasn't. Something that will stand out, Jefferson thought. And then it hit him. A mural, he blurted. Everyone turned to look at him. We could paint something cool on the side of the building. Like graffiti, Darren said. Sweet! The audience buzzed with excitement. Isn't that illegal? Someone called out. Awesome! Darren began to chant, mural, mural, mural. Jefferson elbowed Darren to stop him from causing a scene, but it seemed Jefferson's idea was taking over the room. Mural, mural, everyone shouted. As the teachers tried to quiet everyone, Principal Cooler thought it over. She waited till the room was calm and set down her chalk. A mural is a brilliant idea. That would look great on the wall that overlooks the lawn and faces the town. It will transform the entire school. But who will paint it? That's easy, Darren called out. Jefferson can draw and paint anything. Jefferson's ears burned. Jefferson's ears burned? If we were all sitting on the carpet right now, Mrs. Karagosian would ask you, what makes someone's ears burn? You think he got them out in the sun and they got hot? Some smart Team Karagosian member would raise their hand and I would call on them and they would say, sometimes when you get embarrassed, your face turns red and it turns hot. And so his ears burned because he was embarrassed. Darren called him out in the whole school assembly. He said, hey, Jefferson can paint and draw anything. Darren quit it. How could he do the mural? He wasn't an artist, not like the real grown-up people who got paid to do that. It's true, said Catherine, a classmate sitting a row behind him. Everyone knows Jefferson is a killer artist. Miss Bear is always using his work as an example in art class. Jefferson swallowed. She does? Miss Bear stood from the front row. Principal Cooler, I have no doubt Jefferson can paint something perfect for the mural. He's a true artist. I say we put him in charge. Jefferson gaped. True artist? Put me in charge? What had Miss Bear put in her coffee this morning? But before Jefferson could refuse the job, Darren had started another round of chanting. Jefferson! 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 The decision was made. After the assembly ended, the students were released for the day. Principal Cooler stopped Jefferson at his locker. I can't wait to see your vision for the mural. My vision? Jefferson mumbled as he tossed a few things into his backpack. I mean, my vision will be great. Principal Cooler was all business. She opened the schedule book she was holding and ran her finger down the page. Our anniversary celebration is in a month. I'm inviting the mayor, so you'll need to get started ASAP. ASAP is ASAP, which means as soon as possible. Let's have an assembly next week to look at your plan. She slapped the book shut. Sounds great. Good? She spun on her heel and left Jefferson standing alone at his locker. The mayor? A plan by next week? He slung his backpack over his shoulder and closed his locker. How was he going to do this? He headed out the side entrance. Mr. Summers was riding the mower, doing his weekly cut of lawn. Jefferson strode out onto the grass and turned to look at the largest canvas he had ever laid his eyes on. The 2-story white brick wall seemed to go on forever. What was he going to fill that with? How was he even going to get up there? Let's see. We'll do a little bit more. A few students spotted Jefferson before they got onto a school bus. Do something cool, a boy said, like snakes. Paint a zoo, a girl said. No superheroes, suggested another boy. As the kids boarded the bus, Jefferson thought about their ideas. Suddenly, he could picture something. A vision. He pulled out his notebook and started jotting things down. The following week, the school auditorium was noisy with excitement. Principal Cooler was already on stage. A screen had been set up, and Jefferson was standing behind a laptop.